Hi, good morning. Let me see if I can help with this whole loopy letter thing, such as letters like V and W. So if you make your W and you want to come up and have a loop, you keep your pressure light, you loop it around counterclockwise, just like that. Same with your V. So you'll make a light, whoops, I'm a little wiggly there, a light loop. And that loop can be any size you want. So you can have, if you want to have more of a bouncy look, you can have a really exaggerated loop. Or if you want to have it be more contained, more subtle, you can make a soft loop. You want to make sure you have enough space coming off that loop so that you've got a good amount of space between your W and the next letter so they don't squish together and become difficult to read. It's really similar to when you make a loop with an O. It's that same movement, and just like with the O, the O, you can make it a big loop or you can make it a small subtle loop. But whatever way you want to make it, you just want to make sure that you have enough space coming off the loop, that tail off the loop, so that your next letter is not too squished. There's enough space between them to make them look like two separate letters. Because the problem that you can run into is that loop making it look like you have an R in there when you really don't. So what I mean by that, and what you really want to look out for here, is keeping your pressure light as you move through the loop. So I know a lot of times when you turn that loop around, it becomes a downstroke, and the tendency would be to give a little more pressure and make it thicker. But if you were to do that, if you put pressure there, then if you say your next letter was an I, you've just created an R. And so when people look at it, it can be really confusing what the word is. So you want to keep the pressure in that downstroke part of the loop light. The other option that you have here is to not make a loop. And this option is probably a little bit easier. So I don't know if you learned to make an O like this, but if you make the O where you just create your oval, and then where that connection happens, you press a little bit down and sort of make a sideways comma. I don't know if you've learned that option, but that same option would apply here with the V and the W. So you can, for an example with a V, as you come up, you just put a little pressure here and make a little sideways comma coming off of that. And that's a little bit, it can be a little bit more elegant, a little bit more classy or simple, depending on what your look is. So if you want it to be fun and bouncy, stick with the big loop. But if you want to have something that's a little more subtle, then sometimes this little comma thing can work really well too. And it's definitely really easy to read. So it might be better for certain situations where you want readability to be really the priority. And so you can do that also with the W. You just come up, press, and sideways comma. Just a little sideways curve. And sometimes that's a little bit easier. That's easier in that you don't have to really worry about getting shaky through this whole upstroke loop. I know sometimes that can be an issue. It is for me this morning because I enjoyed 2 cups of coffee just recently. So anyway, I hope that helps. Have a good day.